Teach us to pray. Now it came to pass as he was praying in a certain place, when he ceased, that one of his disciples said to him, Lord, teach us to pray, as John also taught his disciples. God provided Israel with the prayer book, Psalms. It expresses the deepest feelings with which its authors address the King and Lord of their lives. Without a doubt, we will find in those feelings a reflection of our own feelings. If you are sad, read a psalm. If you are distressed, read a psalm. If doubts attack you, read a psalm. If you need forgiveness, read a psalm. If your heart overflows with gratitude, read a psalm. If you have found a moment of happiness, read a psalm. Pray using psalms. Pray in difficult times. Pray in times of despair. Pray between doubt and hope. Pray for restoration. Pray using psalms. Is anyone among you suffering? Let him pray. Is anyone cheerful? Let him sing psalms. Read the psalm and pray. Observe the way the psalmist addressed God. Discover the reasons for his prayer. Compare your situation with the psalmist's experience. Think about how the psalm can help you express your feelings to God. If there is something in the psalm that challenges your reflection on it, relate the psalm to Jesus and his work of salvation. Ask God to put his word in your heart and mind. The use of psalms as songs of praise is evident, but it's not his only use. Each psalm is a prayer to God that should be used according to the needs of the moment, to lament, to give thanks, to ask for forgiveness, to seek divine direction, to remember history, to praise, to show anger. How can we use the psalms as prayers? Pray in difficult times. Yet for your sake we are killed all day long. We are accounted as sheep for the just slaughter. Do you feel that God treats you unfairly by allowing you to experience difficult situations that you do not deserve? Maybe yes, or maybe not. But if so, would you express it in prayer, whether public or private? The psalmist did not hesitate to do so. The people of Israel were being plundered, exiled, and murdered. They had done nothing to deserve it. They had not turned away from God nor sinned against Him. Like the psalmist, we should feel free to express our feelings and emotions to God in prayer. Let's present reality as we live it. Let us recognize that He can get us out of the most complex situations, even if we do not understand why He does not do it now. Above all, let us not doubt that, even in the midst of problems and difficulties, God is loving and merciful. Pray in moments of desperation. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help. Imagine Jesus praying with the words of Psalm 122 verse 1 while his body hangs on the cross, his hands and feet pierced, surrounded by a threatening crowd, observing the soldiers dividing his clothes, thirsty waiting for the moment of his death, desperate. Your situation may not be as agonizing as that of Jesus, but you surely felt like him, desperate at some point. In those moments, Psalms teach us to pray, looking beyond our current situation, and see by faith the restoration of our lives. See by faith the moments in which we will return to praise God with joy and gladness. In times of despair, we can be sure that God hears us. He cares about our affliction and sees us, even though we do not see Him. Pray between doubt and hope. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? He rebukes God for his indifference toward him. How long? Has God forgotten me? Sometimes our perceptions is yet. Yes, Psalmist expressed it with great clarity, but he went beyond the doubts and showed us his hope. When in doubt, we must ask the Spirit enlighten our eyes, that is, help us clear our doubts. The Psalm shows us that it also lawful for us to demand that God act in prayer. We must be sure that the promises contained in Psalms are for us too. Prayer for restoration, that your beloved may be delivered. Save with your right hand and hear me. Lamentations, Psalms like 60 are prayers expressed in moments of physical, psychological, or physical pain or all together. They help us to be aware that suffering is part of the experience of both the just and the unjust. They also help us understand that God is in control, and that He will deliver us at the right time. Our suffering helps us to be compassionate toward those who suffer, It's like the psalmist who sing the word shaken, pleads with God, heal his brokenness because he wavers. Above all, this psalm teaches us to trust fully in God, to exalt Him before the world, to be instruments of essence. In God we will do mighty things. Darkness and discouragement will sometimes come upon the soul and threaten to overwhelm us, but we should not cast away our confidence. We must keep the eye fixed on Jesus. Feeling or no feeling, we should seek to faithfully perform every known duty and calmly rest in the promise of God. We may not feel today the peace and joy which we felt yesterday, but we should by faith grasp the hand of God, as Him, but as fully in the darkness as in the light.